sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
There we go. Good morning. Good morning. We are vertical today. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. I am still trying to share out the stream to everything, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm putting it in the ecosystem right now. I'm still up. The channel is still, we're still operating. I do want to switch this though. There we go. We are still operating, and yeah, things are working in our favor. I've got to put this in the Veteran Nation group now. How are you guys all today? I was looking a little bit at what you guys were saying. Let me put that there. And then, no, I want to paste. There we go. Now it's not letting me paste. Oh my God. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating. Share. Now copy. Now paste. It's not giving me paste as an option. Oh, some days computers, they drive me crazy. Some days they just drive me crazy. Let's see who's here. We got Tammy. We got Bestie. We got Jeanette and Laura, Native and Joan. And then we got Nancy. Good morning. Jem Baroque. Good morning. Brad Mills. Good morning. Who else we got? There's one there that's hard for me to see. I can't see. I can't see, god damn it. Uh, then we gotta put this in the Patriot 911 news group. I gotta always be careful because sometimes on Facebook, when you hit the enter, it doesn't take you to the next line. What it does is it will uh, create like it'll post stuff by pressing enter, and it gets very frustrating. Very frustrating. He's frustrating. He's frustrating. He's frustrating. If you know the movie, you know. If you know, you know. Uh, so yesterday, there was a lot of stuff that happened yesterday. Um, we got first off. Okay, let's. Should we talk about the lawsuits first, or should we talk about the side stuff first? I'm kind of thinking the side stuff because the lawsuits are pretty darn interesting. Um, one is a great lawsuit, and the other one completely sucks. I'm doing okay, Jem. I appreciate you. I see we have people. We are on TikTok this morning, by the way. I believe that is going out. And then we are on uh, X as well. So if you're if you have TikTok and you'd like to watch us there, we're on veteran.nation on TikTok, and we're being streamed out by Patriot 911 News. And I'm looking, and we have 12 people watching over there. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys all being over there. Did you hear about the fleas strike on YouTube? Yeah. Does anyone know if it's true Charlie's wife is expecting number three? That I don't know. That would be great news if it is. Um, but yeah, the fleas, aka two lees in a pod, they've posted a lot of BS about me. They posted a lot of they just post stuff that's just inaccurate, harassing type of stuff. They have been what's the term? They have been struck by YouTube for copyright because they've used stuff from my show, they've used stuff from Jeremy's, not given credit, not followed any of the fair use rules, and them just saying and putting on a tagging it fair use doesn't make it fair use. Like, why none of these dummies have actually watched any YouTube videos about what fair use actually is, I don't know, because yeah, they're not they're not adequately using things as fair use. So yeah, it's a lot of stupidity that they're doing. Um, and they they got copyright struck. So now what they're doing is they're threatening and encouraging all their people to copyright strike everyone else. And it's just stupid because they're in a federal lawsuit with Jeremy Hales of What the Hales on YouTube. And Jeremy is just like that's all he needs for his lawsuit is just to show that they're copyright striking him. That is considered tortious interference because Jeremy's uh, business is based off YouTube. They get me copyright struck on things. I could sue them for tortious interference because I am monetized and I use this as a money making venture. Um, so yeah, it's really stupid the stuff that they're doing because it makes no sense. It is just going to get them in more and more legal trouble, and they're just building up more damages for Jeremy in the case. Not to mention all the music they play without permission. Exactly, exactly. And don't get me wrong, I've been copyright struck on music. I just take it out. There are times where I have said, "Oh, no, no, no." Like, it is not hard to go into YouTube Studio. There's a whole thing. It's a music creator thing where you can buy the licenses. Some licenses are not for sale, but uh, a lot of them are. In fact, most of them that are the songs you want, but the live versions. I have a lot of on my thing here. Like, I can play slow hand because I bought the license. I can play this. I went right through YouTube. I think I paid $1.99, and I have the license to that song, so I can play it. Um, so yeah, there's things you can do that they just don't even want to research and don't even want to look into. They just want to spew hate and say, we can do this, we can do this, so and so can't do this, and like they're not consistent. They're just a bunch of dummies. So that was happening with them, and I've already posted here. I'll show it. I I love dunking on them because they just make it so easy. Oh, come on. Now this is not gonna. I think it's Facebook that's causing me problems because I had to hit it like several times. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm clicking on the post and this has got to be Facebook. There we go. Okay. So I made this post and this is a picture right here that she posted. They have copyright struck it and took it down, and I put it right back up. See, you can see the picture right here. And they did that, as you can see, back in December. And then it was down for a week and it came back up. So now I keep putting back up that picture. And I put that in our Facebook group, the ecosystem. If you guys join that, we're in there every day uh, doing lots of stuff. Ooh, there's a potential spam post. Yeah, that one's okay. I'm publishing that. So, yeah, we are in there posting all this stuff, just dunking on them. So that's the first thing is they were that stupid. Apparently, they were on Rumble saying all this stuff because their YouTube got struck. So I don't know if they were on YouTube, but I know they were on Rumble. And I don't even have to watch their show. All I have to do is go in my group. And back when the fake group was still up, I could go in there and I could see just all the BS that they were putting. So, you know, you deal with a lot of stupidity. Hold on, let me edit this post. There we go. Let's see what people are saying here. Yep, everyone, please show your support, hit the thumbs up, and all that good stuff. Thank you, thank you. Um, share this out if you're on a platform where you can share it. For someone that thinks they are so smart, they sure do some dumb stuff. Oh, right, and they keep doing the same dumb stuff over and over. So, it's like, yeah, of course you were going to get copyright struck. Of course you were. That was always going to happen because you won't change the way you do things. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Some people need to check their DMs. Well, I'm not seeing any DMs on my end. Uh, the then the next thing is the new. We have two new lawsuits. So the first one I'll talk about is Jeremy Hales. Jeremy Hales is suing Levy County, Florida, and he's suing because he had a civil protection order against his neighbors, and they constantly broke that civil protection order. He is a resident of Ohio. but he snowbirds down in Florida for part of the year. Lots of people do it. So Levy County uh, chose not to enforce the civil protection order because they said, well, it's from out of state, and it's even questionable if he lives. Um, if he, it's even questionable if he lives in Florida. Well, it's not a question. He lives in Ohio. You can claim your residency as long as you have it. And people are like, well, you have to spend half the year there. No, you don't. There's nothing at all saying that. All you have to do is have established residency there. Life happens. You, yeah, uh, you could be, um, you know, I might establish residency in Ohio, okay, because I'm from Ohio originally. I could reestablish residency and then still spend most of my time outside of Ohio. That happens for lots of people. Uh, Georgie's sending me DMs telling me to smile more. Uh, so yeah, like that's false. And that also is no reason to not enforce a civil protection order. If 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 you have a civil protection order in one state, all 50 states have to abide by that civil protection order. That went in front of a judge who is sworn to uphold the Constitution. And you know this uh what's it this DA saying, "Oh no, you don't need to enforce that." It's like, dude, like you're just getting yourself in trouble. Uh, there is chat on top of chat. I can turn it off. Is it is that better? I can also do that. Do you guys like that better? Do you like the bigger screen or the smaller screen? I don't care. You guys let me know in the comments. I'll do whatever. The only reason I had the chat up was because um, on some of the platforms you don't see the chat, but that's okay. If you send super chats, I'll still put them up on the screen. That's big. My big bald head. I shaved it yesterday. That's what she said. Um, but yeah, so that DA like totally set Levy County up for a lawsuit, and that's a slam dunk lawsuit. Jeremy's suing for. I think I heard when they went through it. Here's the thing: Levy County would be stupid to take that to trial. So that means Jeremy's going to settle, and he's going to at least get 1.5. Like if I were Jeremy, okay, if I were Jeremy, I would um, get a chance to see Michael Yo do it. He's funny. What does Michael Yo do? Thank you. I have my favorites. Good morning. And good morning to Mama Coop and Vet Firefighter. Those of you I haven't said good morning to. Um, I saw your DMs, Georgie. She's trying to break me, guys. She's trying to get me to laugh. Snower, good morning. I'm just looking through. Joan, good morning. Um, so yeah, U.S. Patriot, good morning. Everyone is commenting on YouTube this morning, but and we're on multiple platforms. I don't know if anyone's watching on TikTok. I wonder what that looks like. But yeah, so Jeremy's going to get 1.5 million. If I could give Jeremy any advice of all the things I've seen, he should write into the settlement a clause that if Levy County were to not enforce anything else or were to do anything like come up with terms of the settlement, and if they break those terms, like not enforce the CPO again, um, that it will immediately invoke a clause where he gets even more money. Finally hit a Nationals YouTube live. Oh, nice, U.S. Patriot. Nice. Uh, will Giggle Gremlin come and play in Coop stream today? Maybe. We'll see. Welcome, 30 CJ Beast. Gary, Indiana, huh? I've been through Gary. I was through there not this last December, but the December of 2023 when we got all that snow. I got stuck in Chicago airport and I had to get my way back to Ohio. So I took the shoreline right there from Chicago to South Bend. So I went through Gary. Um, hopefully your city turns things around. It's home of the Jacksons. Uh, but yeah, so if I were Jeremy, I would put a clause in there that if they violate any of the terms, he immediately gets a big payout. Because there are places you want to have that trigger because so many of these places, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, they'll pay you your money and then immediately turn around and violate your rights again. So I would have some type of penalty clause in that if they do certain things. Good morning, Jeremy. Uh, if they do certain things, it'll immediately take effect. So that way, there's an incentive for them to follow everything. Yeah, only 20 thumbs up out of 63. Come on, folks. Hold on one second. Got my stick shirt on today. I bought this at a concert many years ago on my birthday. Hey, David. Welcome, welcome. Um, yeah, see, I'm doing the verticals now because doing the vertical lives, YouTube puts it in front of a different group. So I get new people who show up here. So welcome. Welcome to the show. We're talking about a couple lawsuits that are going on right now. You're not on camera, baby. Glory's here, and she's trying to get on camera. Here, come here a little bit closer. Oh, here she comes. There's my girl. Yeah, we are working on new training for her. We're trying. Please don't hit the microphone. You can sniff it. Don't hit it. We've been working on Play Dead. So Glory is my service dog to anyone who's new here, and she came to me fully trained. But you want to always keep training with your dogs. Always train new things. Give your dogs a job. Give them a job, and they'll be so much happier and so much more obedient for you. And yeah, we're working on Play Dead, and she's doing a really good job picking it up. You like being on camera for the audience? Here you go. Get on the bed. Oh, there you go. Good girl. I don't think Jeremy will settle, but if he does, well, that is his choice. But I hope he takes the state of Florida and Levy County to hell and back. I think he'll settle because it's going to be way cheaper. He's going to get a pay. He's going to get not just a payout, a big payout because of how many violations there are. Thank you, She Devil. But yeah, there's going to be a big payout. Mine doesn't even give a paw. Well, find what their motivation is. That's the key. Um, her motivation is attention. It really is. Like she'll go for food, but there are days like where she's like, "Yeah, no." But yesterday I had bacon with me, and that's where we were doing our training was with bacon. Um, but yeah, so Jeremy's going to get a big payout. If I were him, as long as the money's there, I would take the settlement, and that's a slam dunk case. And then you have the someone in Megan's chat yesterday was calling it the KY case. My cat showed me where he spit up this morning. Does that count? Cats are pretty smart, and yes, you can train them. Uh, mine, there's a couple things that mine does, but it's constant repetition for a cat. Like that's the only thing I've seen. Um, like I normally have treats when I call my cat. So when I call his name, he always comes. Hopefully if he does settle, they don't try and retaliate against him. Well, that's why you put a clause in the settlement that there's some type of punishment if they were to violate his rights again. Uh, if I were a citizen of Levy County, I would be incredibly, incredibly pissed. Uh, because all this was done, all this was done, and it was completely avoidable. Like, you did not have to do any of this stuff. All you had to do was just have your sheriff's deputies enforce the damn law. According to Dick Lickman, it's as always they try and twist everything to suit their narrative. Wowsed out. I mean, it, here's the thing: qualified immunity is a tough thing. So they're suing Dan Owens. So if it does get tossed to the county, but it would be it. I'll say this: he's got a very good case of breaking qualified immunity because qualified immunity only protects government employees in the process of doing the job as long as they don't violate people's rights and they follow the law. Georgie says, just because you're my best friend and I adore you. Thank you for the 20, Georgie. And everyone should check out Georgie and Coop. They do their show right here on YouTube at 8 a.m. So, yeah. Um, so that'll be a good one. Uh, hashtag Deafman. So Georgie and me, we were texting, and if people could see me and Georgie's text when we're not on camera, it's really funny. But she was out shopping with her mom, and I was like, "Hey, start pretending that you're deaf. Just walk around and be like, hey, mom, can we get some Cheetos?'" I do that to my family, and they hate it. They hate it. My mom gets so embarrassed. Um, I'll put up the video of yeah, we're teaching Glory how to play dead, and the key word is bang. So what I'm teaching her is to lay her head down when I say that. Now, is this part of her training for being a service dog? No, but you should always train your dogs. And even though she's a service dog and she's fully trained for my medical conditions, we do other training and makes her a better service dog is because she wants to dogs always have a job in the pack. There's something that they do. They're happier with a job. So it's about keeping her self-esteem, and dogs do have self-esteem. And if you don't believe that, try to dominate train a golden retriever. They will shut down on you. Dogs have self-esteem, and you have to build up their self-esteem. Another thing to build up your dog's self-esteem, pet them right here. Raise their chin like that. That actually, keeping their chin up does help their self-esteem. She loves it when I pet her there. You went blurry all of a sudden. Yeah, it's because this camera. I'm gonna eventually buy a better webcam, but it zooms in. Don't lean back. You get in the background. um, and then we had the KY case. Someone was calling that. What was the other one? There was another name that Megan at the end of the stream she really liked. Um, and it was a good stream last night. I only watched the second half because I was first I was on the phone with Georgie and Coop. Then after that, I made myself dinner, and after I had dinner and I sat down, that's when I started watching Megan and Tug. Um, it was something about attention. Like, hold on here. It began with a P. I remember that. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Not seeing it. Was anyone watching My Andy Loves Belly Rubs? Maybe Dust the Dome. um, uh, I'm not seeing it. It, yeah, it was Megan came up with a word for it, and y- it was that one is one of the worst written lawsuits I've ever I've ever seen. Like, it's a defamation lawsuit. Now, defamation lawsuits are hard. And with um, everything that is in that lawsuit, the one thing I didn't really see was any damages. And that's the whole thing about defamation. You have to have damages. You have to show that it's knowingly false. A reasonable person would have that it was false, and a reasonable person would have believed it. You have to show that. You have to show it was done with malicious intent. That's what they wanted. And then you have to show that you were damaged by it. I remember they're laughing at us case, but I don't remember the other. Um, well, the Trespass 5 case, or not the Trespass 5, the thumbnail case, which is going to be good because, yeah, we're going to get, a deposition. And I'll give you guys this. One of the court dates, I'm not going to be able to do any live streams or anything because Skipper got a summons for jury duty. So I'm going to go in there and I'll be like, no, you want me on this jury because I could spot a guilty person like that. Think they'll keep me on the jury? Um, so that will be funny. Just the fact that I can sit in judgment of others, that's pretty funny. That's one thing about, for those of you, if you didn't watch our Veteran Nation live that we did on Sunday, the first half of that, we were going through President Connect, and that's a new bit I've done for the show. That's just us judging people, and that has been so much fun. Uh, oh, I'm getting a bunch. Oh, hold on. Okay, here we go. This is going to be uh live update. You guys are watching this. So my comment is back on Facebook. There we go. So they've um and I got 3 of these all in a row. So the fleas are reporting people. They reported me on Facebook. And yeah, you live on the air have failed. Look at what you did. Good job. You look like a complete and total fool. Just a complete and total idiot. How well did that work for you, Felisa? Telling people to come here and report me? Uh, what dummies. Like, Larry is going to destroy Bubbles if the lawsuit goes to trial. Bubbles doesn't know the dragon. Well, here's the thing. I don't even think it'll go to trial. If I were Larry, Kentucky does have a it does have an anti-slap law. In fact, I just had it up. SLAP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation. You can't do lawsuits with the intent of silencing someone. And when you get a lawsuit like this, and I'm in California, so I'm protected by this, so they keep saying they want to sue me. Go right ahead. You're not scaring me. Like, unlike you, I actually know about copyright and fair use. I actually understand these concepts. But yeah, they are threatening to sue people, and Bubbles is suing Larry. If I were Larry, I would take this to a SLAP hearing, and what would happen then is Bubbles then has to show that his case has merit. When you do a lawsuit, at least in the early stages, as you've been seeing with a lot of these, the plaintiff, their case is presumed to have merit, meaning they presume that the facts that you're bringing to the court are honest, that you are not a vexatious litigant, or that it's not frivolous. That you're bringing an honest case before the court. And if you do a slap claim, it's essentially a countersuit, and you're saying this has no merit at all, and it's prima facie on its face BS. So what happens is then there'll be a hearing for the slap, and the judge will then look at the initial case and decide, does this case have merit, or are you just trying to silence someone? Are you just trying to intimidate someone into silence? Because for a long time there were corporations and very wealthy people who would do lawsuits against people just to get them to shut up. That's what they were doing. So I think it's something like 32 states. So a majority of the states now have anti-slap legislation where you can request these hearings. And here's the thing: if you can't prove in that hearing that your case has merit, not only is the countersuit going to be held up, but now you're going to have to pay damages, and like no trial. It's all like a bench thing. It's handled just like motions in most cases. So it's a very powerful tool towards ending frivolous lawsuits. And yeah, I don't think I read through Bubbles, his whole pleading and everything. I don't see how that would um, ever stop a slap. Um, what do I say? A slap motion. I did post in our Facebook group, the ecosystem. So if you're on Facebook and you'd like to join our group, it's the ecosystem. Just search that out and you'll find us. And I did post in there that I am willing to sign an affidavit about how Bubbles has harassed me, has tried to get this channel and this show taken down through letters to YouTube, how he has claimed I have defamed him and his clients while he is defaming me. Um, again, uh, I didn't have damages, so that's why I didn't sue. You don't sue. Just someone can say lies. Lies are protected. If they damage you, now that's if they damage you, they're malicious, and if uh, they're clear lies, but a reasonable person could believe it, now you can sue for defamation. And I could sue for defamation if I chose to. However, I didn't have damages, so it would be a waste of my time and money. Now, if my YouTube channel did get taken down, now I would have damages. See how this all works? Um, so yeah, that's that's how these things play themselves out. And so that's the fleas and the two cases. Um, there has been a lot of posts from Georgie Stalker, and I am going to address a couple of them directed at me. I am going to address those, but again, I'm going to monetize the haters. That's what you do. You always monetize your haters. So I will record something. Um, I don't know if I might put it out early to members. But this dummy, she actually did a whole video, and she's probably going to dirty delete it. Go right ahead. We've got it. We've got it. We get all your stuff. We know enough that when you post something, we're going to record it. We're going to download it. We're going to take screenshots. We're going to do all that stuff. Larry be intimidated into silence. Right? Right? Like, these are people who are used to YouTube. Like, I don't think you're gonna silence them. It's like people come after me all day long, and you can come after me. You're it's not gonna bother me. It's when you come after my friends and family. That's when you become dead to me. We must silence him. Oh, no, 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 no. That's why, I've got the group, the ecosystem I created. We're in there, and people are like, make it private, kick out these people. I've got no problem with stopping anonymous posts. I really have no problem with anonymous posts myself, but the rank and file inside the group, they didn't want anonymous posts. I'm okay with it, but they they didn't want it, so I turned off anonymous posts. If you want to come in there and talk smack about me all day long, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you from talking. You're talking yourself right into trouble, and you're not bothering me. Um, and there are people out there who I know they hate my group. People on the what the hails ecosystem, not the anti. There are people on the what the hails who hate me. And those same people, if you notice, they always uh want to be admins or mods of these various groups. And why do they want to do that? Because they want to control narratives. There's people they don't like that they want to ban. There's people that they don't like that they don't want to be saying things. And here's the thing, I've I'm like, hey, if you wanna say whatever you wanna say, even if it's against me, go ahead and say it. Because the solution to free speech is more free speech. You wanna come at me, go right ahead. I'm just gonna come at you, and we'll just have our argument until you're done. You know, that's why I always say, Skipper's got games. You wanna play games? Skipper's got games. You can I'm one of the Parker brothers, bitch. I'll play games with you all day long. I got more games than Milton Bradley, and I will play. I'm here to play. Like, I have PTSD, so when you try to play games with me, you're talking right to that section of my brain that where you're poking that and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna mess with you," and guess what? My brain just says, "I'm gonna mess with you right back." And trust me, I'm a veteran. I was in the military. I know how to screw with you way more than you know how to screw with me. Y- I used to tell I had Marines who were problem Marines, and I was like, "You're not going to get me to yell. You're not going to get me to yell. You will bend to my will before I ever raise my voice." And that was always my philosophy. I never needed to raise my voice, but I never had a problem. I had people who were problem Marines, or my little shitbirds, as I used to call them. I had my problem children who wanted to listen to the barracks lawyers and tell me what they could and could not do. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll see how that works out for you. And trust me, uh, I've never had to build a case against anybody. They built it on themselves. Right, Jim? We have our right to freedom of speech, but when it becomes defamatory, you are bullying. Be prepared to see people upset. Well, I mean, we can bully you right back. We can. I don't like bullies. And if you bully people, you should. The one thing bullies hate are people standing together. Absolutely. That's one thing everyone has their own opinions about bullying with their kids. And I'll tell you, my philosophy may not work for your parenting style, but I'll explain what my philosophy is. I told uh, my son when he was younger, look, you're going to see kids get bullied. You could be bullied. If I ever find out you're the bully, oh, I will bully you. And trust me, I'm better at it. But I also told him if you see someone getting bullied, I expect out of you to stand with the bullied people and to take their side, because that's one thing that one bullies hate. And that's one thing that also makes the bullied people feel better is when they have people standing with them. And I told him, I said, look, I'm not telling you to tell the teacher. I'm not telling you to fight. Here's what I'm telling you. When you are being bullied or when you are seeing someone being bullied, the only thing that will ever bother you is if you don't do something about it. So I'm going to tell you, whatever it is for you, do something about it. Whatever your personality tells you to do, you do something about it, because you'll never regret what you might say, oh, I could have done that better, but it's not going to weigh heavily on your conscience. What will bother you is not doing something about it. All actions, especially speech, lead to consequences like losing a job. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, it just came across your Facebook page, darling. Yeah, make sure you guys are all joined up in that group. And then I also have my Veteran Nation Facebook group. You can always join there. We I do a lot of memes in there and a lot of that's where my military posts go. And I had a couple funny ones yesterday. And I know they're funny because I put them in other veteran groups. And yeah, my kids always had issues with being bullied. Yeah, it happens. It's a natural thing of growing up. Uh, but if you get a group like it's hard to bully a group. It really is. It's easy to bully an individual, but when you have a group standing together, really hard to bully them. And that's why Georgie Stalker is so mad at me is because I stepped in because I'm taking the side of my friend. And that's one thing, as I've done my PTSD journey and I've done a lot of therapy, it caused me to look back over my life and look at a lot of relationships, uh, good and bad relationships I still have, relationships I've lost. And, one thing that in most of them, I can look at them and say, well, I'm not like, if, especially if it's someone, like I had people who in my divorce chose sides because my ex immediately wanted to tell people, I was abusive, I was all these things, right? And I was the one who went away. I moved, I moved away. And that's normally that's normally the one who's the victim is the one who wants to get the hell away from the abuse. But my ex told people I was abusive to people who I thought were my friends, and they're no longer my friends. And how's your relationship with your blow up doll? You mean Lacey? Lacey, who's wearing my merchandise? She's wearing a Veteran Nation shirt, and you can go to veterannationfoundation.com and buy your own. Yeah, I'm in a relationship with my blow up doll. Everyone like she was watching when that all happened. Like that was still funny. For those of you who are new to the show, someone who was watching said in the chat as we were on one day, "Oh, hey, at Goodwill they had a blow up doll for $6," and I was like, $6? That's a steal. How funny would that be if I bought a blow up doll and that viewer bought it and sent it to me? So now we named her Lacey, and she sits right over here. Here, let me switch the. Um, so yeah, this is Lacey right here, and she wears our merchandise, our shirt, even though she's blurred because I've been playing with new software. Um, but yeah, so uh, yeah, she. Okay, I was. Yeah, all these people who used to be my friends who now are no longer like I'm friendly with them, but we don't have the friendship that we had because they made a choice. I'm not upset about it because as I looked at these friendships, I'm like, well, at the end of the day, I was a better friend to them than they were to me, and I can live with that. My conscience is clear. So many things that I do for my PTSD is about me looking in the mirror and the person in the mirror looking back at me, and that being a person that I can live with. You need to add air to her. Yeah, she does need more air. She's got like this leak that when I fill her up, she'll dip down to this level, and then it takes several weeks for her to get smaller. How's the long distance affair with Georgia? Yeah, this woman is saying me and Georgie are having an affair, and TC and Georgie are having an affair. She lives in Tennessee. I live in California. Like me and Georgie, like, yeah, but how do you think that's working? Um, but she is having an emotional affair with a guy in another country, which I find very funny. My brother is a Marine. I'm going to be honest. Secret service members deserve zero respect. You got duped into fighting for oil, and I genuinely do not care about your well-being. Well, I don't really care about you, proof. But the good thing is, you have the right to say that, and I was a part of making that possible. So there you go. See, someone comes in and says something about me. I got no problem with it. Say that is your right. You can say things. I can say things right back. Uh, I always have to laugh at the people who, I get a lot of people who are like, "You're in the military and you're stupid." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then a lot of those people, I'm like, "Oh, what? Do you have a degree?" And well, I've got some college, or uh, if they do have a degree, it's like some bullshit degree that no one gives a shit about. It's like, not only do I have a degree, I've got a lot more experience to you. Like things I've done have been briefed in front of the U.S. Senate. Like products I have created were briefed in front of the U.S. Senate and several Senate committees. I I put the picture up. I was on a first name basis with the United States ambassador. Like I've done some cool shit in my life. Uh, can you come by my house on your way to Georgie's next time you go there? uh, you're up in Pennsylvania, aren't you, Big Dirt? I could be wrong on that. That'll be a little bit out of my way, but hey, I do like going through Pennsylvania. I have a master's degree in engineering and I learned three languages in my spare time. Well, good for you. Take your hand and do this. Oh, y- at the end of the day, you're here to watch me. I'm not going anywhere to watch you. No one cares about your opinion. Uh, that's I love when people come in and try to dunk. It's like you're not bothering me. There's a comet right now. I'll have to go out and check that out tonight. Oh, you're in Missouri. Okay. I've got a couple people in Missouri that watch. I am looking at the time. I'm gonna have to go. I ended yesterday a little bit early, and I was into work right when I really like being there, and I'm gonna do the same thing today. Right? uh, that's I laugh at, th- and then the people who are like, "Well, the military is stupid." It's like you do realize the statistics show that the U.S. military right now has more education than the average American citizen. And soldiers haven't fought for my freedom to say anything for years. This isn't World War II anymore. Iraqis didn't challenge my freedom. You fought to help the upper class gain more resources. Okay, okay, that's your opinion. Cool, cool, cool story, bro. What freedom did the Vietnamese take away from me? You tell me. What's funny is like the Vietnamese like people Americans think that the Vietnamese look at us as our enemies. They don't. You talk to people from Vietnam, they believe that China is their enemy. Why? Because the last war that they fought, I believe, was in 1980 when China invaded Vietnam. And what's funny is people who say like the American military, like, oh, we got our ass kicked and stuff. e- I believe China lasted 2 weeks in northern Vietnam. 2 weeks. Was like it was not a very long war, because Vietnam had just gotten out of like almost 30 years of fighting. First, they fought the French, and they fought them for like 10, 15 years. Then they fought the Americans for approximately 10 years. The South Vietnamese, that whole time they fought. And China thought they were going to go in there and they got their asses kicked. That's um, that's why I laugh about these liberals who are all in favor of the Ukraine war. It's like, you do realize that's ultimately making Russia stronger because very early on, they were highlighted that their artillery was uh, woefully unprepared and ill supplied. And here we are, what, 3 years later, they fixed that. Like war tests your military and you will improve. Um, Pakistan and India. Pakistan got their asses kicked. What was that? 6 months ago by India, and they were using um, all Chinese equipment. India was using a mix because they buy stuff from America, they buy stuff from Russia, they buy stuff from Chinese. They were using a mix, and they kicked the shit out of Pakistan. I know what you're doing, TS. It's asking me if I like Bofa D's nuts. I like you though, TS. I like it. You know, I do need to do what I should start doing, like 1 or 2 nights a week. Just put the number. You guys see that I got the number down below, but just take calls and just let you guys. You want to call in and say some crazy shit? Come on, just call right in. Skipper looked really good at his age, especially serving in Vietnam. Charlie was everywhere. That's okay, TS. I appreciate the effort and I welcome it every single day. Feel free to take the phone number down below and spread it around and tell people to call and leave me inappropriate voicemails. You know what my favorite prank is 4chan did it, where people were calling in to shows and they'd be like, yeah, uh, I they'd be like talking about something like, I'm in California now, but I grew up in West Philadelphia, and I used to play basketball at the local school, and one of these days, a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood, and I got in one little fight. And my mom got scared, and they just immediately go into the song. I loved that prank when they did that. What year were you in Nam? Um, I've actually have yet to go to Vietnam, but I will be. That was a joke that Coop was saying. I've only been to Afghanistan in terms of fighting and whatnot. I volunteered for Iraq, but was not allowed to go because the place where I was at was mission essential. So I put in a commissioning package, became an officer, and yeah, the Fresh Prince prank calls were the best. That or calling GameStop and asking for Battletoads. That one was good. But yeah, I did a year in Afghanistan, and it was a great year, a lot of fun. Um, it's always good when you get trained and you spend all this training and you get very proficient in your stuff, and then you're able to go and actually do what you were trained to do and do it very well. Uh, but I am looking at the time. I got to get going, folks. I have to get on with my day. I need a shower because, yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, give this a thumbs up. Thank you for all your comments. If you're watching on X, retweet this out. And I appreciate all you guys for being here. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleeping moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, on just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise, kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive, big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking